Alright, so if you've ever wondered why so many YouTubers put these red arrows into their thumbnails, I think I've come up with a pretty good explanation as to why. So, I think that red colors grabs attention. So, I looked it up, or I researched it on the internet, which took me a few hours. But anyway, I found this. I found this study done by these two college people, whatever, and I found this little excerpt here. Color theorists believe that color influences cognition and behavior through learned associations. When people repeatedly encounter situations where different colors are accompanied by particular experiences and slash or concepts, they form specific associations to that color. End quote. And basically, what that's saying is that because we see red associated with danger and uh, things associated with lots of high emotions, then we associate those emotions with that color, which I think makes a lot of sense. And of course, that works for all the other colors too, but I'm not really interested in the other ones. And here is some more stuff. It's a bit boring to read, but they studied a list of 36 words for 2 minutes and were asked to recall as many words as they could after a 20-minute delay. And this is some proof as to show that Reb really does grab attention. So three measures confirmed that red indeed enhanced performance on this memory task. And those in the red condition recalled more correct items than those in the blue condition. Basically, they had a list of 36 words and they colored those words red, and then they had the same list of words and they colored them blue and have two different sets of subjects recall the the words, and they saw how that affected their memory. And basically, the red condition made it stick more in their heads. So, this is important because at the end of the study, it claimed that if the task on hand requires people's vigilant attention, then red might be particularly appropriate. That is all to say that red is exceptionally good at grabbing attention and drawing eyes, you know? And that's exactly the point of why people use these red arrows. So, this study is interesting in that it does grab attention, but the question of why remains. Are we evolutionarily predisposed to find the color red? Or is it a social convention that was formed over time to associate danger with red? Uh, there is no real answer to that question. I just thought it was interesting. So, anyway, here I wanted to defend the red arrow from criticism because so many people think it's a little cringy to put them in there because, it makes you look like you're pandering, that your content somehow is worse because you had to make people click on your video. But that's just not true. There are psychological and practical reasons why they exist. And I'll just give you some examples. So here is just a random YouTube sidebar that I found on one of my videos. And I think it's pretty obvious what I did. On the left side, there was just the thumbnails from the videos that I put up or that YouTube showed me. And then on the right, there's the same videos, but I added some red circles. And for this video, I just kind of grouped red arrows and circles into the same sort of category since it's all the same phenomenon. So, yeah, it's pretty obvious how much attention the red circles draw to to the to the thumbnail. I mean, if you, and here I had enlarged the thumbnails themselves, but if you're just scrolling through YouTube and looking at your recommended feed, anything that draws eyes even a little bit extra is good for click through rate, which is important. And here is just some examples of big YouTubers doing the same thing that I was telling you, you know? These red arrows, 71 million from Mr. Beast, just has the red arrow pointing to the bag of money, just to grab a bit of attention, you know, make it so that your eyes land onto his thumbnail and you read the title and you think, okay, I will click on the video. And this one is literally, this one's by PewDiePie, and it's literally just a red cross and a sink. And that's a PewDiePie video, right? So you might or might not want to know about sinks, but at the very least, if you're scrolling past, if you're just looking at the sidebar, you won't just scroll past it with your eyes because it'll catch your attention. So here is just some of my theories about thumbnails in general. This is going a little off the red arrow topic. So basically, I thought that there should be better contrast in thumbnails. On the right, you can see a pretty highly developed thumbnail, right? With lots of colors, very good art. I mean, they didn't make the art themselves, of course. This is League of Legends characters, but it is well edited, I'd say. And on the left, there's a less well edited one, right? So they just have texts in big font and red quotation marks. But I would say that the left one was actually a better thumbnail because it was better at grabbing attention. That is my opinion, but I just think that if you're looking at the sidebar in when it's smaller, it would be much easier to scroll past the one on the right. And as you can see, I put down their sub counts and the views of that particular video, and despite this Cheyenne Gaming guy having much less subscribers, they had a similar amount of views on the video. And I think that has something to do with the thumbnail. And this is another theory that I think is probably true. These are from Ludwig videos, Ludwig Ogren on YouTube. On the left, you have a video from him. You know, it was just the best clips of his Twitch of 2022, or sorry, 2020. I added an extra two. Anyways, I thought this one on the left was good. It has bold font and bold colors, and the laughing face. I'll explain why I think that's good a little bit later. But basically, the thumbnail pretty simply tells you what the video is going to be about without you even having to read the title. And I think that's important that videos suggest concepts. And I think Mr. Beast does that super well. Like in this one on the top, right? You just have his face with a robber mask breaking into a house. I mean, and that's the point of the video. And right, I think this video on the left has a good thumbnail, and the video on the right does not have a good thumbnail. I actually think this is a very poor thumbnail. And the reason, it has subdued colors. It doesn't pop out very much. The font is very small. You can't read it if you're looking at the YouTube sidebar. And it's not even bolded. And his face is indescribable, to say the least. And I think it shows in the view counts, right? There's 1.3 million views on the left, and the concept is laid out, and this guy's catching. And I went on a rant when I was making the slide, so yeah, you can read that. 388K views. And here's just one more theory of mine. But the best thumbnails make you go, what is happening? There's a thumbnail from John Tron where he's just holding up an AK, and it says surviving edge weapons. And you're just like, okay, what's he doing? He's shooting people, I guess. And he was like, okay, what's happening here? So you want to click on the video to see what's happening, right? And that goes back to the tells the concept idea, right? It should tell good concepts. And of course, I think it's eye catching because of the red knives in the background and his like face. Oh yeah, and the next point I actually had another point. The faces, of course, the faces. How could I not talk about the faces? So faces work exceptionally well at grabbing attention because our brains are designed to do that, right? We are wired to be attracted to look at things and people that we know. So that's why big YouTubers put their faces in every thumbnail, especially if they have their friends in the video with them. On the top left, you can see a video of Pokimane where she was playing Crab Game with Valkyrae, Dream, and Saikuno, and actually they're the center of the thumbnail, despite her being the larger face. Um, that's because that also drives click through because some people may only watch Ray, some people may only watch Saikuno or Dream, and if you have all of them in the same thumbnail, you have a better chance of someone's eye being caught and someone saying, "Okay, I'll see what this video is about." And of course, you have Mark Rober, Michael Reeves, and KSI. And yeah, it's just all examples of big YouTubers making sure their face is prominent in the thumbnail, and with some of them making animated facial expressions, which is very important as well. So, yep, this is just more simping for Mr. Beast because I think, has the best thumbnails in YouTube in terms of making people want to click on the video. Of course, his content is very good all around. So, but I think his thumbnails are very good. So yeah, you have the robbing the bank vault thumbnail, just him with a big animated face, and the you have the red siren looking thing in the top there, which I think is good. Even has like a little red effect around it, the red shirt, and then the big pile of cash, which is also eye catching. And then on the right, it has a. This one's more simple, but it has the idea of contrast, which I said before. It's just a red on white screen, and you see it. It's a button. You read the title because you want to see what this video is about. It just says press the button to win, and you're like, okay, what's this about? And you click on the video. And then, of course, there's the one on the bottom with the kid with making the face and the credit card. I'd say this one's also pretty good. It doesn't have his face, but whatever. So this is my conclusion. Red arrows and symbols like them work because they grab attention exceptionally well. There are many methods that grab attention besides this, like big, familiar, animated faces. The point is to make your video something that the viewers' brains don't just skip over when they're looking at their recommended feed. Visual white noise is a term that comes to mind, and that's that. So do the thing if you'll feel like it. Whatever. Goodbye.